it's Life Videos here, yet another corn snake video. I am going to be doing heating and lighting of your corn snake vivarium today. This is my corn snake vivarium. It's a 36 inch by 15 inch by 13 inch, I think. I will check the measurements. And I am going to be showing you basically how I heat and light my vivarium. I've taken everything out except for this plant because this is quite hard to remove. So I've got the sliding glass doors. I am going to have a lock on here, but I haven't got a snake living in here at the moment. So a few things are missing, but I will describe them to you. I have, first of all, my bulb. This is a daylight blue, 60 watt. I have this on 10 to 12 hours a day, so it provides heat and light for my corn snake. So it's natural lighting, fitting in with day and night conditions. This is the ceramic heat guard, so that if the snake does go near the bulb, this heat guard is going to protect the snake from getting burnt, because snakes aren't very intelligent. They do not realise that if you touch the bulb, they will get burnt. And so they do tend to go up to the light source and burn themselves, and that's not very good. Here I have my thermometer at the moment. It's under 30 degrees at the moment. I know this is the wrong temperature. You need to have the hot end around 30 degrees, maybe 29 degrees. And so have this near the bottom, because this is where your corn snake is going to be. Don't put it at the top, because that's not really going to be very much use. Here I've got my aspen substrate. It's very thin, as you can see. You can see the heat mat through it. I've got the heat mat in my vivarium in this, because it's a wood vivarium, as you can see. I have taped it down at the ends, but be careful when you use tape that you've put all the edges right down. There are no loose flaps sticking out, because this can cause skin problems for your corn snake if it gets caught on the tape. This is my probe. When I have my hide out in here, for the snake, I put this at the back of the hide on top of the aspen, because although the corn snake does burrow, it's not going to be burrowing in this aspen because it's very thin. So I'll put it on top of the aspen so the heat mat thermostat knows when to turn the heat mat on and off. Down the cool end, I have a thermometer coming, and let me just move these doors over the other end so I can put my hand in. I am getting a digital thermometer, because the thermometer over there that I got with the corn snake starter kit, as you can see, it's a dial, and so I'm getting a digital one for the cold area. I would recommend having a digital thermometer for the cold area and just a simple dial thermometer or a strip thermometer for the hot end. This is simply because the hot end temperature is mainly going to be monitored by that probe and the thermostat attached to the heat mat, so that doesn't really need a very accurate thermometer. Whereas the cold end, although it should be the right temperature, you want to make sure you get the temperature just right, because if it is too cold over here, these kind of thermometers aren't going to tell you the exact temperature. So I tend to use a thermometer with a probe. Another thing about the cool end is, as you can see, the aspen is much thicker and deeper, so the snake can burrow. And if it is slightly too cool at the cold end, if they burrow, they're going to heat up because they're surrounded by the aspen. So that's kind of like an insulating factor, like wearing a jumper. So as you can probably see, there's the bottom of the vivarium, and yeah, the aspen is almost as thick as my finger, maybe half my finger is deep. So you can hopefully see the variant in depth of the aspen shadings. shaving, sorry. That's basically it. Just make sure your cables are out of the way. This one is up against the wall. The corn snake is not likely to get behind that. If they do, they will just slither out the way. Not that much of a big problem because the heat mat is sellotaped down quite securely, so it's not going to uproot the heat mat or anything. And if I come around to the other side of my vivarium, these are the heat vents. This is my heat lamp, and I had to file this down because it wasn't fitting through this, as well as the probe and the heat mat and the probe. So you're going to have about 3 wires coming through, and maybe another is going to come through here. That's going to be my digital thermometer. Another thing while I'm doing this video is the air vents. These are very important. If your vivarium doesn't have air vents, for instance, if you're using an aquarium, a glass aquarium, you must create some sort of air ventilation system, because otherwise your corn snake will suffocate. Now these are the kind which pop out when you push them. You can see. I don't really want to do that, so I'll go back to the other side and push it back in. So you need to, if they come in the vivarium the wrong way round, you need to make sure that the side that is going to be on the inside is the side where the snake, if it pushes against it, it's not going to move. And the corn snake is no way going to be able to get under that and pull it out. I can't even do that with my fingernail. So you need to, if you need to for some reason remove an air vent, you need to go from the outside, so there's no way the snake's going to remove that. But if you do remove the air vent for whatever reason, make sure you replace it, because that is a very big gap, and a fully grown corn snake could easily escape through that. My general rule for escaping is if the hole is as big as its head, the corn snake will escape. Okay, so that's basically all there is to it. Heating and lighting. If you don't have a bulb for your corn snake, then it's not the biggest problem. They don't need a specialist lighting or anything, or infrared. Whatever you hear, just ignore it. They do not need any specialist lighting. Just ignore what those people say about, infrared and UVB bulbs. It's just fine. But if you do have a bulb, of course, just make sure it's safe for reptiles and it's not too hot. I wouldn't go above 60 watts really. And make sure you monitor the temperature, obviously. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. Sorry it's a bit long, over 88 minutes. I should probably stop recording now. So see you later in my next corn snake video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment or a request.